Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. I want to talk about something today that originally was thanks to my 2023 Ram truck. It's been in the shop now for 6 weeks waiting for a digital cluster. Apparently the parts are extremely hard to get with the digital cluster for any Stellantis vehicle right now. And we're lucky my wife hasn't had the same problem with her 23 Grand Cherokee 4xe that she has, that actually just got out of the shop because of a faulty software update that caused the vehicle to brick. So the topic here, vehicles, and I guess just our culture of throwaway items that we have. And it brings me to the point why I love these mid to later 2000s sports cars, and why I love them as I'm in my 2010 Camaro right now, because they are all analog. And I have to say, this goes all the way up to the C7 series of Corvettes, the 6th gen Camaros, and of course our beloved Dodge Charger and Challenger that got discontinued. Anything after that really is too digital for my liking. But these mid to later 2000s and early 2010 vehicles are so wonderful because they are not throwaway. Everything in here is analog. You can get them with a manual. It really is great. So this brings me to my issue with everything becoming too digital and too throwaway, and that's the type of culture that we are in right now. And it's such a waste. It's such a bad thing for the environment. And talking on cars, I love my 23 Ram truck. I really do. It is wonderful, but it begs the question if I'm actually going to keep this vehicle past 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, if I want to, because of all the different electrical systems in the vehicle, and if I want to actually stick the money into it. And car makers are doing this more and more, and you can even see it with brands that strive to be longevity brands, that want to be legacy brands, i.e. Honda, Toyota, Lexus, Subaru. They're all taking these analog cars that used to be in the fleet and replacing them with newer versions, Camrys, Highlanders, TX series from Lexus, LX series, LS. You know, they're all making these cars more and more throwaway and disposable, essentially becoming lease vehicles. That's what it seems like this culture is pushing for, is the typical 3-year lease deal from a manufacturer. And that's why lease rates are so good on most vehicles. Not all, but most vehicles. And essentially it's a way for the brand to keep you coming back to the brand after your lease is done, because they want to keep you loyal to the brand. And adding new tech, adding a new refresh every 3 years instead of 5 years or 6 years, really allows the customer to feel excited and wants to come back to the brand. But for me, honestly, yes, the features are nice, and I do love the features, but anything past heated cool seats, 360 camera, and adaptive cruise control, I guess I could really care less for. And anything past that really just seems like a gimmick to me, because I wasn't raised on having vehicles with that technology. I didn't get a vehicle with that technology until I was the one who purchased it. And my parents, they just didn't have the money for those type of vehicles when I was growing up, and that's okay. Still, not a lot of families do. And adding this tech to vehicles makes them more expensive right off the bat, more expensive to fix, more waiting time, as in my case, I've been waiting 6 weeks for a digital cluster. 6 weeks. Unbelievable. My cluster in any of my other vehicles could be fixed very easy and could be fixed probably within a week, just because we don't have to worry about the chips and anything else like that in some of these older clusters. So that is super frustrating. But A, the cars cost more. B, the repairs cost more. C, the time of the repairs is more. And D, if you don't have an extended warranty, you're not protected. B, you don't get a rental car unless you have to pay for it. And C, sometimes the dealers won't even work on the vehicle because they're just so busy. And that's the problem that I've run into as well, is that my local dealership is so busy with vehicles that it takes longer time to get your vehicle done. Instead of the typical 1 to 2 to 3 to 4 or 5 day business day turnaround, it's taking 1 to 3 to 4 to 5 weeks. And that is super, super frustrating. And it's not necessarily the dealer's fault, it's the manufacturer's fault for offering all of this technology in cars, but not offering the support system to fix the cars, as seen in Stellantis. So, super frustrating there. This throwaway culture of vehicles is just getting to be too much. And I applaud manufacturers who still make analog vehicles, but the problem is with the analog vehicles is that now you're paying like $100,000 to $200,000 to $300,000 because that's what the rich people want, is these analog vehicles. And now the manufacturers think that everybody wants these screens and these displays and everything like that. I was just in a Mercedes CLA 35, and as great as that car drove, everything was screens. The whole dash was a screen, and that is just gross. That is such a turnoff for a car enthusiast. For somebody trying to get into the car and learn the features and learn everything, it would take me 10, 15, 20, 30 minutes to go, probably 30 minutes to go through the car and realize where everything was, as in this Camaro, my Corvette, my Challenger, everything, even my Volt, as technologically advanced as that is, everything is right in front of you and you know everything when you get in. And I just wasn't a huge fan of that. I really wasn't a huge fan of that. And that's the way vehicles and tech is going now, is this throwaway culture. And that could even be said for the new iPhone that just came out. Now, I bought an expensive iPhone. Without the trade, without the rebates, it was $2,000 or $2,100 because I bought the iPhone Pro Max, 17 Pro Max with the 2 terabyte storage because of YouTube work and regular work. But here's the problem. These phones even are just becoming such a throwaway item that a lot of people will renew their phone after every single year. And to me, that's just a waste of money. It's a waste of time. It really... It's just a waste of resources that we have on this planet. Such a finite waste of resources. And I'm one to try to keep my iPhone for 3 to 4 years until it really degrades in battery. And that's great. I love it. It works fine for me. I don't need all of the tech every single year as long as I have the storage. And everybody else, it seems like, is just throwing away their new products every single year. And it ever since COVID, that's just the way it seems. Everybody wants instant gratification, and that goes from phones to vehicles to housing, to appliances. This is such a larger topic on even appliances that stuff that used to be built in the 90s is still running today, but then stuff that, appliances that you have now built in the 2010s and 20s, we're having compounding issues with, and it's getting to the point where you may as well just buy a new one. And that's super frustrating, because where does all of this product go? Where do these cars go? Where do the appliances go? Where does all the junk in the cars that needs to be replaced go? It just gets thrown out, and that's the end of it. And I just wish there was a more sustainable way, going back to automakers. I wish there was a more sustainable way where these cars can stay on the road longer, people can own their cars more, and a lot of it has to do with the manufacturer putting out products that are refreshed every 2 to 3 to 4 years. I look at a product like the Dodge Durango. That is still leading in sales for Dodge, of course, because there's only 3 products. But it's been leading in sales for years and years and years, because it's such a good product and well-made product, and they really haven't had to. They only refreshed it 2 times, and it's still been selling. It's been on the market. It's 2026. It'll almost be on sale for 20 years by the time they refresh it, which is wonderful. If you can go 10 years without a new product, that is great. That is wonderful. I think of Ram trucks as well. There was a 2009 4th gen that got refreshed in 2013, and then it sold all the way up to 2019, with that 4th gen being sold until 2024 in the Ram Classic. So they're getting the most out of the product, they're getting the most out of the consumer, and the consumer is getting most out of the product as well. And that's the way it should be. That's the way it should be. We live in such an instant gratification culture since COVID that everybody wants new, and now. And nobody thinks about the earth. Nobody thinks about the environment. Everybody is so ADHD about everything now, to where people just can't sit by and relax with their stuff. And that's totally seen in the auto culture. Nobody makes a car like what I'm in anymore. Nobody does it. And it's a shame, because these cars are so awesome, so fun to drive, and I love them. I truly do. A lot of other people love them too. They're becoming affordable for people to buy, and it's a shame that nobody makes a new car like this anymore. But to each their own. And with that being said, that was just my thoughts on my rambling thoughts on vehicles in today's world and why they suck compared to older vehicles. So with that being said, guys, like and subscribe for more Mopar, GM, golf course content. We'll see you in the next one.